Hey y'all, here OS Reviews. Today we're taking just a very quick hands-on look at the Best Life Neoton X. This is a smart backpack that has a UV sanitizing compartment inside. Clean germs and bacteria from any device such as a phone, wallet, or cash, or some documents. So it's a really neat function, especially since these days the pandemic is still ongoing and you want to take as much precaution as possible. And this is really the first time I've seen a functionality like UVC, which again can kill 99.9% of germs, bacteria, including COVID, integrated into something like a regular backpack. So it's going to be in this small compartment like this. Aside from that UVC sanitization function, the backpack itself is still rated to be splash proof, so if it's raining outside it should still survive. Has a pretty clean modern look going for it, and also has some ports that you can use to charge up smartphones as well from the outside, which means you're able to still hold your phone in your hand and charge it up at the same time. So that's the retractable extension charging cables, which are built into the backpack for iPhones, for Android devices. It comes with Lightning, micro USB, and USB Type-C. It claims to be antimicrobial in terms of the fabrics that they're using, so it should still not really get quite as easily covered up by germs or bacteria. Has some properties to it which makes it a little bit unique as well, so really is a sanitary focused quote-unquote smart backpack. The company behind it, Best Life, does make other backpacks as well, and they start at as low as only about 30 or 40 bucks, but this is definitely the most feature-packed version that they have at the moment. And there is a front zipper compartment which we can access, just a very slim pocket here, and then on the side here we have the retraction cables. This part can be extended, and then after you release it will hold itself. If you pull on it again, it will kind of stick back into place. This is also how you provide power to the UVC sanitization compartment, which is detachable from the backpack, and then you need to plug it into power for it to turn on the lights inside. Turning the backpack around, first of all, there's a standard handle on the very top. Again, kind of angular shapes. If we look at the backpack from the sides, you can tell that it really is kind of an interesting prism-like pattern that they're going for. Pretty distinctive and modern looking, and packs in a lot of volume just because of the fact that it bubbles even outwards. Also not too heavy. Some of the branding information, including the fact that, again, this is the antimicrobial series. Padding for the shoulder pads do feel to be decent, and we also have access to a small compartment here that you can use to even hang some sunglasses if you're not wearing them, which is pretty thoughtful, as well as some hooks for keychains. On the inside here there is a small internal pocket that you can use to store something more sensitive, such as your perhaps wallet or your passport, and then there's also another strap in here, and what this one is designed for is to be attached onto a suitcase. Before looking at the main compartment, the part that is a slight taper onto this bubble surface can actually be opened separately on the top here as well. And what this is designed for is actually for glasses. So you can pop in, a pair of glasses inside of their case onto this compartment for you to very quickly access and then store away. Now the back itself can actually be pulled open like so. So again, it opens up. There's actually Velcro that can attach onto the sides, as well as the main zipper, which is holding everything into place. And once open, there's actually quite a lot of small compartments that are going on. Some of these small pouches, as you can see there, are just meant for carrying additional things like clothing that you may want to tuck in. So this little storage pouch can also be expanded in terms of the volume. You're able to expand the size by 2, as you can see there. So you can pull on this part to fully expand it into more of a larger compartment if you want to store something a bit bigger, and then also carry it separately as well. In total, you get 2 of those compartments, which are the same in terms of how they function and expand or collapse. And then the third little bag that you see here is the one that has the UVC light. So it's not the UVC is built into the backpack directly, but rather there's a isolated compartment that adds a bit more of security when you're using it, since UVC rays can be harmful if it is something that you can see or touches your skin, so you want to make sure that when you have it turned on, everything is fully enclosed, and that's why it's in this small little box. So it looks like this, and there's controls on the front once you plug it into power that you can use to control a 5-minute, 15-minute, or a 30-minute sanitization session. It is relatively small, but at least it is easy to fold in, and you can still, again, put things like glasses, a passport, a mask inside of here for you to sanitize. Also your phones can fit, things like that you would regularly always be touching. So in terms of the compartment, you can see here it's very secure, tightly closed when you have it sealed in, and the edge here is actually magnetic as well, so it attaches pretty well. And when you open it up, you'll see the interior is also reflective, and that really is to capitalize on the UVC lights, which are embedded onto the sides. Basically 3 of those UVC lights, and to make the surface, again, a bit more reflective to the light, it will try and get the maximum efficiency out of those beams and reflect it on everything that is inside of this compartment. We also find access to a quick user guide inside of here as well, and this kind of documents how to quickly use this backpack and the various functions in terms of charging, as well as how to access the different compartments, as you can see there. Glasses box case in the top that we talked about. Reflective strip, so if you're outdoors and running, when a light hits on the backpack, people will see you. There's even kind of a shoe and umbrella compartment as well on the outside. That might be the main compartment there. Claims to hold even an extra pair of running shoes or an umbrella inside. So that's a pretty thoughtful function. And here's the suitcase strap that I was talking about previously. Again, with it extended, it will just fit inside, so you can just use the handle to carry both your backpack and the suitcase. And what UVC is capable of doing in terms of its frequency range, it basically destroys the DNA sequence of any living particles, including bacteria, and that's how it's able to really get you a sanitary effect. Inside of the backpack is concerned, there is a small mesh internal pocket, as you can see there, that you can use to store something else and divide it, and also a top inner compartment that you may want to use to actually carry any papers or documents in. And finally, there is the USB lead here that basically is connecting it to the power adapters on the outside. So the backpack itself doesn't come with a built-in power bank, so you still need to connect your own. So for example, I've done that right here, connected it to a power bank, and now it's basically popped on here, and now the cables and the ports on the outside will be functional. If I plug in a phone, it will be basically charging using the power bank, except it's inside of the backpack, and my phone I can still carry around in my hands. As for the internal pockets on this side, which is basically facing your back, you can see the slots for 3 pens that you can carry, along with some extra compartments, and secured using this little strap. So again, you can carry quite a lot into this particular backpack, including change of clothing that is sufficient for, I would say, at least a few days of usage, in addition to your computer, any documents, even again shoes, an umbrella on the outside. It is one of the larger backpacks I've seen, and when you're not in use, the inner compartment here can also be collapsed just by pressing downward. You can actually squish everything in to kind of reverse the design, and now it becomes a smaller profile. It really just depends on exactly how much you are carrying, and it can just expand or contract if you're carrying less. So that's more or less it as far as our just quick hands-on look at the Best Life Odin X UVC Sanitization Antimicrobial Smart Backpack. It's kind of a handful there, but I do think this is a pretty useful everyday backpack if you do plan on going outdoors these days, even though it's not necessarily super recommended, but if you have to go out and do a bit of traveling, this is definitely going to help you in terms of keeping things clean and sanitizing things regularly as part of the design. And lots of smart features here, including tiny pockets to carry different things from glasses to shoes to popping it onto a suitcase. Pretty well constructed, and overall I think a very clever design that's fitting of the times that we're currently living in. So if interested, you can check out more details in the links below. For now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.